If you've been considering moving to the Boise, Idaho area and have started researching its neighboring cities, you've likely heard of the city of Meridian. You probably also know that it consistently lands on the country's top best places to live lists, and that's across numerous national news outlets. And we get it. Meridian is absolutely a wonderful place to raise a family, work, live, and play. We obviously love it. That's why we live here. But when it comes to considering relocation and researching new areas and really honing in on whether a city will be right for you, your family, and your unique situation, we always think that it makes sense to just take a step back and really take some time to learn more about the potential drawbacks. Because yes, every city, every area, they're going to have drawbacks. Doing so will help you to ensure you can make a decision that you'll be happy with for years to come. So in this video, I'm going to get candid with you and list off the biggest cons to consider prior to moving to Meridian. My list of cons will be a summary of both what we've heard from past clients, friends, and family, as well as some aspects that Andy and I sometimes find ourselves now and again grimacing over. On the other hand, if you are looking for reassurance and are looking for all the pros, by all means, message me. I could go on at length. Again, this is why we live here. But for this video, I'm going to put my game face on and really break it down for you. Con number 1, Meridian's traffic. Whenever we have clients, friends, or family visit the area, they're often surprised to see how crowded the main highways and roadways have become. It is a hoppin' busy place. Well, I guess that really depends on where you are coming from, but from Idaho standards, it is very busy. Traffic now has become something that we actually complain about and discuss, which really wasn't the case when we moved here 15 years ago. Well, other than during rush hour, but what can you do? But over the past several years, we've seen it increasingly become an issue. There's currently road construction happening just about everywhere you go, which can at times be frustrating. So many detours. But well, this is Idaho, and you better believe we have dedicated people out there working on it. Con number 2. There aren't as many well-established master plan communities with a huge variety of amenities in Meridian. Before I go on this perceived con, which we have heard from clients, it will definitely depend on where you are coming from and thus what you're comparing it to. Most Meridian neighborhoods, especially in already well-established neighborhoods in South Meridian and pockets of North Meridian, don't offer the huge range of amenities that some master plan communities in neighboring areas, here's looking at you, Eagle, offer. There just aren't as many master plan communities that include golf courses, community fishing ponds, community grill and bars, just tennis courts, soccer fields, all of those things. That said, there are some truly fantastic Meridian communities. My top favorites include Paramount, Spurwing Greens, and Tuscany. These all offer a ton of incredible amenities. And you will find that most newer subdivisions and developing neighborhoods include pools and jogging paths. But the catch and release fishing ponds that so many communities in Eagle offer, and or the neighborhood golf courses and soccer fields, there aren't as many in Meridian that offer those. Speaking of different amenities offered by subdivisions, this brings me to con number 3, HOAs, so homeowner associations. Across the state of Idaho, HOAs are a thing. So depending on where you're coming from, HOAs might throw you. Most Meridian subdivisions, especially in the new construction arena, come with HOAs. So what do HOAs do? And what do they control? The answer, it all just depends on the HOA. The fee schedule and cadence can be determined pretty easily. What we've come to understand recently working with various clients moving from other neighboring states is that our HOA system seems to be a bit different. By and large, the HOAs here are really all about maintaining property value and the general vibe and aesthetics of a neighborhood. And we totally get that no one wants to be told what they can and can't do with their own property. It's like, don't tell me I can't put up my flag, or what do you mean I need to get permission to remove that huge devil tree in front of my house? We completely get it. That said, HOAs are a thing here, and I doubt, regardless of what any news outlets might be saying, they will be going anywhere anytime soon. And then, in regard to what to expect for HOA fees vary widely. They are based on a number of factors, such as the various amenities offered. So does the neighborhood have a community pool or perhaps 4? Or do they have a huge common areas that they need to maintain? Or maybe an 8 to 10 mile jogging path that meanders all through the neighborhood? Whatever it may be, it obviously needs to be maintained to maintain your home value. So HOAs are designed to do just that, to step in and help where help is needed. As far as what to expect for standard fees, we've seen fees as low as $55 semi-annually, so $110 per year, to as high as around $350 quarterly, so I guess $1,400 annually. It just really all depends on the maintenance fees required to maintain the neighborhood, the amenities your neighborhood offers, and how many homes are in that subdivision to split up those costs. A recent con that we have heard several times in the past 2 months is in regard to lot size. So I guess that would make this con number 4. Now, your take on this will 100% depend on where you are coming from. If you're coming from California, or let's say the Seattle area, I highly doubt you'll be disappointed with the average lot size of both resale homes and newly constructed homes. That said, if you're moving here from the Midwest or perhaps Eastern Oregon or Eastern Washington, you will likely have a different outlook and take. This is a potential con, again for some, based on perspective, that we're always very happy to discuss and break down. There are so many little cool nooks and different areas of Meridian to explore. I mean, heck, I've lived here for 15 years now, and I still discover new neighborhoods that I haven't fully explored. It's not uncommon to have a neighborhood with homes that are situated on lots from around 0.15 to 2.5, neighboring homes situated on 4 to 6 acres. Or, at the same time, some subdivisions, such as Tuscany and South Meridian, have homes situated on areas that are quite small. So lots start, I think, at 0.08. And then a few houses down, you'll find a house situated on over half an acre. Moving on to con number 5, the increased cost of living. With the rapid growth we've experienced, the average cost of living has increased right alongside it. Some reports now estimate that Meridian is 7% more expensive than the national average. That said, if you are set on being in the Treasure Valley, it is definitely less expensive than Eagle or North Boise, and it's pricier than Kuna, Nampa, or Caldwell. At the same time, the minimum wage in Meridian remains very low at $7.25. That all said, the job market in Meridian is incredibly strong. There's a large variety of job opportunities, with the majority of them paying well above that minimum wage. And then, of course, being just 10 to 15 minutes from downtown Boise, that can really help job seekers find and then commute to jobs that meet their financial needs. In addition, on the heels of the pandemic, there are obviously so many people here now that have moved from out of state and have kept those out of state jobs and are working from home. Also, being just 15 to 20 minutes from the Boise airport helps workers that have to travel for work tremendously. Now, moving on to con number 6, Meridian's frigid winters. Winters in Meridian can be rather long, gray, and just kind of gloomy. I often say that I love all the seasons we get to experience, including winters. I'm here for it, all about it. And I keep that stance all the way up until about January 4th-ish till March 1st-ish, I would say. During that pocket of time, the weather can be frigidly cold, windy, and just kind of meh. It's also during this time that we typically see atmospheric inversions. If you are not familiar with inversions, it basically feels like a balloon of coldness encases the valley. Warmer temperatures are flipped upside down, and the coldness is just encased downward and blankets the city. So while typically temperatures obviously decrease as you go up into the mountains, with an inversion you see the opposite. So for our family, our absolute favorite reprieve and escape is to head up to Bogus. The elevation climb pops you right up above the inversion cloud. It's a game changer. By the time we're done skiing and headed back down the mountain, our serotonin levels are back up and we're good to go. On number 7, poor city planning for growth. So Meridian's population size has completely exploded over the past several years, and you can't really expect a city to be able to immediately fix the various issues that growth like that brings about. But it's unfortunate that there wasn't more forethought and preparation. Back in 2006, when Andy and I weren't quite yet out of college and were just eyeballing the Boise area, we knew then that it was up and coming and that it was going to experience a boom. Its population was already growing at a pretty rapid clip. Its tech sector was super strong, so job growth was really sort of exploding. And yeah, home prices at that point were still relatively, compared to other similarly sized metros across the country, very, very low. So we knew then that it was going to boom. It's unfortunate that more preparation wasn't put into place at that time to prepare for today. As of today, if you were to drive around and check out all these new subdivisions and new developments, you'd likely find yourself wondering, so where are all the schools being built to support all the kids that are going to live in these massive houses? And unfortunately, it's kind of crickets. Just straight out, there should be more schools, public resources, roadways, stores going up at the same time. As a whole, across Meridian and really across the Treasure Valley, we are currently playing a game of catch-up. So, on that same vein, I'll lean into con number 8, schooling. This one will, of course, ruffle some feathers because what's more personal than our kids? But hear me out. There's really no point in sugarcoating this one. The state of Idaho's public school system just doesn't rank well. Idaho is one of 12 states that doesn't offer state-funded preschool programs to children under 5. Secondly, the state's high school graduation rate clocks pretty low, 80% compared to the national average of 86. That said, the city of Meridian does have some great options. As a parent, you'll just want to be prepared and up to exploring them. For what it's worth, both of my boys are currently attending a public school in Meridian in the West Ada School District, and we love it. They love it, and Andy and I love it. That said, we do know people whose children are at different schools in the same district, so at West Ada, but just at different schools, and they aren't happy. On the plus side, there are so many other options to consider other than traditional public schools. There are public charter schools, public magnet schools, private schools, online academies, homeschooling, learning pods. The list just really goes on. So I guess I would just say make sure that you're prepared, that you might have to do some research to find your fit. Con number 9, Meridian lacks diversity. While we have definitely seen a bit of an improvement in this area over the past decade, and really over the past few years, it's, well, something you'd be hard-pressed not to notice. It's definitely important to be aware of it and acknowledge it. In addition, only 12% of the population consists of senior citizens, which is well below the national average. So while Meridian is a wonderful area for young people and growing families, having that greater generational diversity would give citizens a better access to the wisdom and experience that our elders can offer and teach us. With such a heavy focus on the young population, we've heard from some previous clients that the senior programs and centers and care facilities don't get quite as much attention and care as they prefer. And finally, con number 10. While we are currently seeing prices decline month over month, home prices remain high. Which, yes, here I am as a realtor saying home prices are high, especially when you consider the minimum wage, as noted earlier, remains at $7.25 per hour. But yeah, it's the truth. Apartments and rentals are also currently higher here than most initially expect. That all said, hooray for seeing the market correcting itself a bit. Every month we're seeing home prices tick downwards, which you can see in this graphic. So this is very good news for potential buyers who have identified Meridian as their future home city. As with all places, there are always pros and cons to consider. If you'd like to chat about whether Meridian would be a good fit for you and your family, let's connect. We can promise we will give you our candid feedback on both the perks and drawbacks of our booming city. Call or text us at 208-598-3040, and to help us stay in touch, please like and subscribe. Have a fantastic day.